well, first of all, let me preface all of this by saying, as you well know, I was an advocate of Joe Biden just saying, screw you guys. We're not going to do the debt ceiling deal. There's a bunch of other options. One is he could have issued a type of bond that where it pays down the principal as well as the interest. That type of bond is not covered by the 1917 Liberty Bond Act. He could have simply issued new bonds, number one. You could argue it would have taken congressional authorization. I would argue they'd already been authorized by the spending itself. Number two, he could declare the 14th Amendment. Number three, he could use the take care clause in Article 2. I mean, there was a bunch of things he could have done. But he chose not to do that. He wanted to do it the quote, right way, the way that it's been forced to be done ever since Newt Gingrich first used this as a club to beat up Democrats in 1996, I believe it was. Maybe it was 95, during the Clinton administration. So we got this deal, and it looks like a pretty reasonable compromise. Now, compromise means not everybody gets what they want, and there are some parts of this deal that I'm very offended by. Joe Manchin and Republicans in West Virginia are getting a gas pipeline that's going through 1,000 different wetlands and rivers, through or under. And it's going to cut money for domestic law enforcement. It's going to defund the police. It is going to cut forest management. It's going to cut scientific research. It's going to cut a whole bunch of things. It's also going to make it harder for people between the ages of 50 and 54 to get food stamps when they're down on their luck. And those, because you've got to, quote, get a job. Well, tell that to people in parts of the country where there simply are no jobs. Tell that to people in Appalachia. Tell that to people in rural Mississippi. So, it's going to hurt a lot of people. But on the other hand, it actually expands the food stamp program. It says that you can't be denied food stamps if you're homeless or if you're a disabled vet or if you're mentally ill. And those are things that weren't covered before. And so this has got, the Republicans have really got their panties in a wad. I mean, they are the right-wing Republicans, they are very upset about this. They're talking today about using that one single vote can recall Kevin McCarthy. They're going to try and do that. They're going to vote against it. They're huffing and puffing. They're just hysterical. They did get, by the way, they got $20 billion cut out of the $80 billion for the IRS. So it's going to make it harder for the IRS to crack down on tax cheats. However, $80 billion is a big pile of money. And if we can retake the House and the Senate and hold on to the White House in 2024, retake the House and hold the Senate and hold the White House, then, we can fix this. So, really this is a bet on the 2024 election and how that's going to turn out. It also doesn't raise